Welcome back to another iDoctor UK video. In this video, I'm going to show you step-by-step instructions on how to replace the screen on the Samsung A53 model A53. To start off this repair, we need to remove the plastic back cover. That's held on with some adhesive, so we're going to warm up the phone on the heat mat for the next 10 minutes. I've got my heat mat set to 70 degrees C. However, you can also use a heat gun or a hairdryer to achieve the same effect. Once the phone's hot to the touch, remove it from the heat mat. We can take a razor blade and create a small gap between the mid-frame bezel and the plastic back cover, just big enough to fit our plastic guitar pick in there, and then carefully run the plastic pick around all four edges to release it from the phone. We can see with the colorway on this phone that it has been replaced before, and usually if it's the original seal on there, it is a little bit more difficult to remove. Once you've cut around all four edges of the phone, you can just lift that plastic cover up and store it safely for later. Now that we're into the device, there's 8 screws to remove with your crosshead screwdriver, although on this one there is 1 screw missing, which we'll replace later. Don't forget, if you like repair content just like this, to subscribe to our channel, and if you're having a go at doing this repair yourself, let me know how you get on in the comments. To remove this plastic shield, if you look closely on this right hand edge, there's a little arrow pointing to a prime point. You can take the tweezers and just lift that up very easily. There's 1 more crosshead screw just next to the camera that secures the motherboard to the chassis. Remove that, then take a plastic prying tool and disconnect the battery to isolate power from the device. Move down to the bottom of the phone now and remove the 7 crosshead screws holding down the loudspeaker and plastic shield for the subboard. You'll probably notice that some of the screws come out really easy and stick to my magnetic screwdriver, and some of them just stay in place. That's just the way with Samsungs. I don't know why it does it like this. But once you've removed those 7 screws, like the top shield, there's a little arrow pointing to another prime point just here. Do the same and lift it out with the tweezers. There's another 2 crosshead screws either side of the USB-C port. Remove those and keep them separate from the chassis screws because they are different. Now take the plastic prying tool again and disconnect the display connector from the back of the screen. The SIM tray for this model is on the bottom of the phone. Don't forget to remove that. First, you need to loosen the fingerprint sensor using tweezers, and then do the same for the subboard. Just lift it up slightly and then pull it away from the charging port area to release it. You'll notice now that I've left these coaxial cables still attached to both boards. We're just going to lift them out instead of disconnecting them and having a little faff putting them back in. Now to release the motherboard, I'm just going to take the tweezers in this top corner and carefully lift it out with everything still attached. The Samsung A series are notorious for having bad FPC connectors from the sub to main board, and that's one of the reasons why we keep it all connected like that when we're lifting it out. To release the battery now, we're going to add a drop of isopropyl alcohol around the edges of the battery. And then if this was the original battery, it'd be a lot more difficult than this to remove. But as this has been done before and it looks like it's not had any adhesive replaced, it's very easy to remove. The last part to release is the vibration motor just underneath the motherboard, and you can get that out by just prying underneath it with some tweezers. We can now discard the broken screen, and then the new part that we're going to be using is a genuine Samsung part, which I will link in the description below. The part comes with the frame already attached, just like the old one, and we're going to begin repopulating it, starting off with the vibration motor. Once you've got the vibration motor in, we can reinstall the battery now. Then remove this little film protecting the front camera. Don't forget that part. And now we'll reinstall the logic board up here. With that in place, I'll re-secure that single black screw. And then I'm going to tuck away these 2 coaxial cables, making a note that the white one goes at the bottom and the slightly thicker black one sits on top. There's a little film for the fingerprint reader, don't forget to remove that, and then the subboard can be just pressed into place, same with the fingerprint sensor. The two black screws can be re-secured into place either side of the USB-C port, and for the display connector we're going to fold back that cable, secure that one, fold the screen cable back and then attach them together, making sure they clip into place. We can now reinstall the loudspeaker and plastic cover, making sure that it clips into place, and secure down the 7 crosshead screws. If you've made it this far into the video already, let me know in the comments below what your favourite phone that you've ever owned is, or what repair you want me to see do next. Moving back up to the top now, we can re-secure the battery flex, followed by the plastic shield that covers up the logic board. Remember at the start when I said that there's 8 screws to re-secure here, however in this case there was only 7 actually installed. Here at iDoctor we like to do a thorough job, so I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes searching for the right screw that's going to fit that. The final thing to do is to re-secure the plastic back cover into place, apply pressure on each edge, then reattach the SIM tray. Now for the moment of truth to make sure that it turns on, and we've got the Samsung logo and it looks like this one's repaired. We'll continue to test this to make sure that all functions work. Thank you for watching and see you next time.